Have you ever stepped off a plane or out of a car on a summer trip and felt like the heat hit you like a wall you weren't ready for? Maybe you used to love hot weather, beach trips, summer road journeys, walking around new cities in the sunshine. You didn't think twice about it in your 30 seconds, 40 seconds, even 50 seconds. You got a little sweaty, drank a soda, kept going. But now, after 70, that same kind of heat feels different. You get tired faster, your heart seems to pound a little harder, your legs feel heavier. You look for shade much sooner than you used to. You might brush it off in front of family, "Oh, I'm just getting old," as you sit down for a minute on a bench or ask to go back inside. But in the back of your mind, a quieter question sometimes whispers, "Is this just normal, or am I closer to real danger than I realize?" Summer can be one of the best times of the year to travel. Grandkids are out of school. There are weddings, vacations, reunions, bucket list trips. You don't want to be the person who always says no. At the same time, you hear stories. An older neighbor who got overheated on a trip and ended up in the hospital. A relative whose blood pressure or heart went wild after a long travel day in high heat. Someone who fainted at a rest stop or theme park because they just didn't feel right. After 70, your body handles heat very differently than it used to. Your thirst signals may not be as strong. Your skin and blood vessels don't adjust as quickly. Many older adults take medications for blood pressure, heart rhythm, diabetes, or mood that quietly change how your body reacts to sun, humidity, and dehydration. Add in travel stress, airports, long car rides, delays, carrying bags, strange schedules, and you have a mix that can sneak up on you faster than you think. Maybe you've noticed some of the early warning signs yourself on past summer trips. Feeling oddly weak and drained after walking through a hot parking lot. Getting dizzy when you stand up from a bench in the sun. Having a pounding headache and foggy thoughts after just an hour or two outside. Needing longer to bounce back when you get back to the hotel room. You may shrug and say, "I just can't handle heat like I used to." But a part of you wonders, is there something important I should be doing differently before I travel this summer? If you're over 70 and planning to travel by car, plane, bus, or cruise, you might already be asking yourself questions like, is it actually safe for me to be in hot places all day? How much water is enough when I'm flying or in the car? Do my medications make the heat more dangerous for me? What are the early signs that I'm crossing from a bit hot into this could be serious? Those are not fussy, overreacting questions. They are wise questions. Because the truth is, heat-related problems in older adults don't always arrive with big flashing warning signs. They often start quietly. A little confusion, a bit of nausea, an unusual level of fatigue, a heart that suddenly feels off. Many seniors push through those early signals because they don't want to spoil the day, slow everyone down, or be dramatic on a trip they were looking forward to. That is how a fun outing can turn into an ambulance ride. This video is not here to scare you into staying home all summer with the blinds closed. You have earned your vacations. You deserve to go to weddings, see new places, sit on a beach, or stroll through a market in another city. But enjoying those things after 70 means understanding that heat is not the same for you now as it was decades ago. And there are some hidden risks in travel that most seniors are never clearly warned about. We're going to talk calmly and practically about 5 hidden heat risks of traveling after 70 that every senior should understand before summer. Not just the obvious drink water advice you've heard 1,000 times, but the more subtle traps that appear when you mix age, medications, travel schedules, and heat together. We'll talk about why long hours of sitting in cars, planes, and buses in warm weather can quietly dehydrate you and stress your heart, even if you don't feel very thirsty. We'll look at how certain common medications can make you more vulnerable to heat and sun without anyone ever telling you clearly. We'll look at how pushing through early warning signs because you don't want to hold the group back can be far more dangerous than speaking up. We'll talk about how hotel rooms, sightseeing plans, and even what you wear on travel days can either protect you or quietly put you at risk. Most importantly, we'll focus on what you can actually do about it in real life. You will not hear, "Just stay home," or "Never go anywhere hot again." Instead, you'll hear things like, "Here's how to prepare before you leave," "What to watch for during travel days," and what simple choices can make a big difference if you're over 70 traveling in summer heat. You'll walk away with clear ideas you can use yourself and share with your family, so you can enjoy your trips with more confidence and fewer scary surprises. By the end of this video, you'll be able to say, "I understand the 5 big heat risks for someone my age when I travel. I know which ones matter most for me, and I know some simple, realistic steps I can take to stay safer without giving up the trips I love." And stay with me all the way to the end, because hidden heat risk number 5 is one that many seniors and their families never even think about. It doesn't happen out on the beach or in the city streets. It happens in a place you might assume is perfectly safe. Yet older doctors know that this one situation, when mixed with summer heat and travel stress, has sent more than a few seniors to the hospital. Understanding that last risk could change how you plan every summer trip from now on. Now, let us get started. Number 1, quiet dehydration from long travel days before you even get to the heat. One of the most hidden heat risks for seniors doesn't happen on the beach or in the city streets. It happens on the way there. Long car rides, flights, bus trips, and airport waits can quietly dry you out far more than you feel. Airplane cabins and air-conditioned cars pull moisture out of your body. You may drink less because you don't want to climb over people to use the bathroom, or you don't want to bother the driver to stop. Add in coffee, tea, or soda drinks that can pull more water out of you, and you have the perfect recipe for travel dehydration. The trouble is, after 70, your thirst signal is often weaker. You may not feel very thirsty even when your body is already running low. So you arrive at your destination already a little dehydrated, step out into hot, humid air, start walking or carrying bags, and your heart and brain are suddenly being asked to work extra hard with less fluid on board. That can show up as dizziness, pounding heart, feeling wiped out much too quickly, headaches, or even confusion, things people often blame on jet lag when it's really early heat stress on top of dehydration. A safer pattern is to treat travel days like hydration days. Start drinking water the day before you travel. Keep a small bottle with you and sip regularly, not just when you feel desperate. Choose some water every time you have coffee or soda. If you worry about bathroom access, talk with your travel partners and build in stops, or choose aisle seats on planes. It may feel inconvenient, but it is far less inconvenient than fainting or ending up in an emergency room your first day of vacation. Number 2, common medications that quietly change how your body handles heat and sun. This is one of the most important but least discussed heat risks for older travelers. Many medications commonly used after 70: blood pressure pills, water pills, certain heart medications, diabetes, drugs, some antidepressants, anti-anxiety medicines, allergy pills, and even some pain medicines can change the way your body handles heat, fluid, and sun. Some make you pee more, drying you out faster. Some blunt your thirst so you don't realize you're behind on fluids. Some affect sweating or how your blood vessels open and close, making it harder for your body to cool itself. Others can make your skin more sensitive to sunlight, so you burn or overheat more quickly than you used to. The hidden danger is that no one may have sat you down and explained this clearly. You just know you get tired in the heat now. So you travel in summer the same way you did at 40, not realizing your medication list has completely changed how your body can cope. You might end up lightheaded, nauseated, or with a suddenly low blood pressure after a short time in the sun, and think, "I must be out of shape," when your pills and the heat are quietly working together against you. This does not mean you should stop your medications. It does mean you should talk with your doctor or pharmacist before summer trips and ask very specifically, "Do any of my medicines make me more sensitive to heat, sun, or dehydration? Are there any special precautions I should take when I travel in hot weather? Once you know, you can adjust drinking more water, taking more shade breaks, planning outside activities in cooler morning or evening hours, and watching more closely for early warning signs like dizziness, unusual weakness, or confusion. Number 3. Pushing through early warning signs because you don't want to slow anyone down. This risk is as emotional as it is physical. Many older adults do not want to be the weak link on a trip. You don't want to be the one who has to sit down, go back to the hotel, or ask the group to change plans. So when the heat starts to get to you, your head aches, you feel a little sick to your stomach, your heart is pounding more than it should for a short walk, you feel strangely anxious or foggy, you tell yourself, don't complain, just keep going. Everyone else is fine. After 70, ignoring these early signals in hot weather can be genuinely dangerous. What begins as mild heat stress can progress to heat exhaustion or even heat stroke much faster in an older body, especially if you're already a bit dehydrated or on sensitive medications. By the time you have to stop, you may be shaky, confused, or unable to cool down on your own. That's when trips turn into medical emergencies. A wiser approach is to treat those early signals as your body tapping you on the shoulder. I need a break now, not later. Make a pact with yourself before you travel that you will speak up at the first signs: dizziness, pounding heart, odd weakness, nausea, confusion, sudden headache. No matter how inconvenient it feels, tell your family in advance. If I say I need shade, water, or to go back, I'm not being dramatic. I'm preventing something serious. People who care about you would much rather slow down for 10 minutes than spend 10 hours in an emergency room in a town they don't know. If you are still listening, comment the number 2 below so we know you are here. And if these calm, practical senior wisdom talks help you feel more prepared for trips and aging, consider subscribing so we can keep creating videos that respect your age and your intelligence. Now, let us move forward. Number 4. Planning young travel days with old bodies. Another hidden heat risk comes from the schedule, not just the temperature. Many summer trips are planned as if everyone is still 25. Early flights after short sleep, rushing through airports, hours of sightseeing in full sun, minimal breaks, late dinners, and little time to truly cool down and recover between activities. At 25, your body could absorb that punishment. At 70 or 80, that same plan stacks stress on stress on stress, lack of sleep, dehydration, heat exposure, physical effort, and emotional strain from crowds or delays. All of that makes your heart and brain more vulnerable when the heat hits. You may not notice the danger until later in the day. You might feel okay at first, then suddenly incredibly wiped out, shaky, or confused by mid-afternoon. Your blood pressure may drop when you stand. Your heart rhythm may feel off. You might find that small problems like a long line or a missed taxi feel overwhelming because your system is already overtaxed. Many seniors look back on a bad heat incident and realize, of course that happened. I hadn't slept well, I'd barely eaten or drunk anything, and we kept going for hours in the sun. A safer pattern is to plan travel with your real body in mind, not your younger memory. That means building in more rest, aiming for cooler parts of the day for outdoor activities, scheduling shaded or indoor breaks, being honest about how far you can walk, and giving yourself permission to skip some events if your body is clearly asking for a quiet afternoon. It might mean arriving a day earlier to recover before a big event, choosing a hotel with good air conditioning and easy access to elevators, and telling your family ahead of time, I may not join every outing, and that's okay. Smart, slow travel is not weakness, it's what lets you still be present for the moments that truly matter. Number 5. Assuming you're safe from heat just because you're inside or back at the hotel. Well, this is the hidden risk many seniors and families never think about. We imagine heat danger out on the street, in the sun, at the beach. But older doctors can tell you Serious heat problems often show up later, in places that seem safe: hot hotel rooms with poor air conditioning, stuffy rental homes, parked cars, crowded indoor spaces with weak ventilation. You might come back from a hot day out, step into a hotel room that's warmer and more humid than you realize, and lie down for a short rest, without drinking or cooling your body first. If the room never truly cools, your core temperature can stay high for hours. You may wake up groggy, more confused, nauseated, or with a pounding head, and think you're just tired from the day, while your body is still struggling with heat stress. Similarly, sitting in a parked car, even with the windows cracked, can heat you up far faster than you expect. What seems like just a few minutes waiting in the car for someone can be enough to push an older body into dangerous territory, especially if you're already dehydrated. To protect yourself, treat inside as something you have to actively make safe, not automatically safe. When you arrive in a hotel or rental, check the air conditioning and fans. Make sure you can keep the room cool, especially at night. If the room never cools properly, advocate for a different room or ask for extra fans. After hot outings, drink water, take a cool shower or washcloth, and rest in a genuinely cooler space, not just a different space. Never sit in a parked car in summer heat just to wait without strong air conditioning running, and try to avoid being the one who waits in the car at all. When you look at these 5 together: quiet dehydration from travel, medications that change your heat response, pushing through early warning signs, running on young schedules with older bodies, and assuming inside always means safe from heat, you can see how easily a cheerful trip can drift toward danger without any one big mistake. The hopeful part is that every one of these risks can be softened. With a little planning, honest communication, and respect for what your 70-plus body needs now, you can still travel, still enjoy summer, and still come home with memories you actually want to keep. Final thoughts. We've just taken a clear, honest look at 5 hidden heat risks of traveling after 70 that most seniors are never fully warned about. Arriving at your destination already dehydrated from long travel days, taking common medications that quietly change how your body handles heat and sun, pushing through early warning signs because you don't want to slow anyone down, planning young travel days with an older body that needs more rest and recovery, and assuming you're safe from heat just because you are inside a car, hotel, or rental home. None of this is meant to scare you into staying home. You have every right to go to the beach with your grandkids, attend weddings, see new cities, or visit family in hot places. Summer travel is not off limits after 70, but it is different. The same sun and schedule that you shrugged off at 40 can be a real challenge to your heart, your brain, and your circulation now. That doesn't mean you're weak. It means your body has changed. And wisdom means traveling with that truth, instead of pretending you are still 25. If you recognized yourself in any of these risk patterns, maybe you thought, "I do avoid drinking so I don't have to stop the car," or "I've never asked how my medications affect heat," or "I always push myself because I don't want to be the one who ruins the outing." Take a breath. Seeing these things clearly is not a failure. It's the first step to making your next trip safer and more enjoyable. You can't change the hot trips behind you, but you can change the one you're about to take. A simple way to start is to imagine your next summer trip and quietly ask, where am I most likely to get into trouble? Is it the travel day itself, when you're sitting for hours and drinking very little? Is it the long, hot, sightseeing days with few breaks? Is it your medications and not knowing how they mix with heat? Is it coming back to a stuffy room and not cooling down properly? Whatever your honest answer is, that's your first place to plan differently. You don't need a complicated program. You need a few clear promises to yourself. Things like, on travel days, I will drink water regularly, even if it means extra bathroom stops. Before summer, I will ask my doctor or pharmacist which of my medicines make heat harder for me. If I feel dizzy, weak, or off, I will speak up right away instead of pushing through. We will build in shade, air conditioning, and rest time between hot outings. And I will not sit in a parked car or steamy hotel room, thinking I'm safe just because I'm inside. These small commitments are not demands from someone else. They are gifts from the you who is listening today to the you who will be out in the heat tomorrow. It can also help to bring your family or travel companions into this conversation before the trip. You might say, I've learned a few things about how summer heat affects me now that I'm over 70. I still want to go and enjoy this trip, but I may need more water, more shade, and more breaks. If I say I need to stop, please take that seriously. I'm trying to prevent a real problem, not ruin anyone's fun. Most people who love you will be grateful you spoke up. It gives them a clear way to protect you instead of guessing. And if you are the adult child, grandchild, or friend planning the trip, remember that building in extra water, bathroom stops, shade breaks, cooler time activities, and flexible schedules isn't babying the older person. It's how you keep them there with you, enjoying the moments you'll all remember. 1 hour resting in a cool room might be the difference between your parents smiling at the family dinner and missing it because the day's heat and stress were too much. Ask yourself one gentle question as we close. What do I want to remember most from this trip? The scenery and the laughter, or the feeling of being dizzy, sick, and scared far from home? When you choose to prepare for heat, to listen to your body early, and to adjust your plans to the age you are now, you are choosing memories of joy instead of memories of crisis. That is not weakness, that is wisdom. In the comments below, if you feel comfortable, share which heat risk you've struggled with most in the past. Travel, dehydration, medications, pushing through overpacked schedules, or hot hotel rooms, and one small change you're willing to make before your next summer trip. Your story might be exactly what another senior needs to hear to say, I'm going to plan differently this year. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend or family member over 70 who plans to travel this summer. Your support helps us keep creating calm, practical senior wisdom so older adults can navigate real risks, not by hiding from life, but by stepping into it with knowledge, preparation, and confidence. Thank you for watching. Remember, summer travel after 70 is not about proving you can keep up at any cost. It's about traveling smart enough that you come home safely, with stories you're glad you lived to tell.